Hi, I'm Jennifer Powell here for another edition of Take a Look, where we take a look at the diverse voices, people, places, and organizations in Lancaster County. Today we are dancing into the holidays with Carleigh Denlinger, also known as the Sugar Plum Fairy, and Viktor Yeliohin, our studio director at Viktor Yeliohin's International Ballet Academy, located in downtown Lancaster. Please welcome and introduce yourself. Viktor, tell us who you are.
My name is Viktor Yeliohin. I have dance school in downtown, Viktor Yeliohin International Ballet Academy. I'm from Ukraine, Donetsk, and opened my studio in here in Lancaster since 2010.
2010, wow. And Carleigh, tell us about yourself.
My name is Carleigh. I was born here, grew up in Lancaster, moved to Russia when I was 15 to study ballet. Viktor introduced me to the world of ballet and taught me everything I needed to know up until that point and directed me where I needed to go to become a professional dancer. So I have to thank him for that. And ever since I came back from Russia, I've been teaching at his studio and kind of staying involved and dancing in the Nutcracker and the spring shows. And
Oh, that's wonderful. And as we were walking to the studio, they were speaking in Russian. Carleigh is fluent in Russian, and so we were having some little reminiscent stories of Russian talking. But back to the studio. Viktor, so how long have you had the academy?
This is 15 years.
15 years.
Yes, we will come in 2025. Will be special performance Don Quixote. We celebrate two different pieces and excerpts from Don Quixote will be a company dance and dream scene from Don Quixote, and then we gala performance first and third act excerpts from Don Quixote.
Don Quixote. Oh my gosh. So you pull excerpts from different shows to put together.
Yes.
And put that choreography together.
Yes, for the children, yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. How many children are at the studio?
In this point, around after 92 or 93, it's not real many, but it fits well.
Right.
Working in the studio, doing well. We preparing special Nutcracker performance with local Lancaster County studios together,
Yes.
not just in studio where I am in my students. It's all surround Lancaster County students.
Yes, and we're going to hear more about the Nutcracker. I've got my official Nutcracker shirt on as we're dancing into the holidays. But Carleigh, so you teach at the studio. You were a student, so not only are you a teacher, you are an alum of the studio. You traveled to Russia to study ballet. Tell us about that. I think that is the most interesting story, and I just was so fascinated by it.
I was, like I said, 15 when I went to Russia. I was invited by the Bolshoi Ballet Academy. It was like a week before high school started, or 10th grade started, and I get the invitation, and I told my parents, I cannot take this opportunity. Wow. It was a whole thing. My parents had to jump through all these hoops to get me like enrolled in cyber school and all the whole 9 yards of it all.
But you did it.
But I did it, and I was initially only supposed to be there for a couple months. After the couple months ended, they were like, we want you to stay for the year. I was in an international class, so all of my classmates were all from other countries. We had some Japanese students. There was a girl from China. There was a girl from Spain.
Wow.
Sweden, Italy.
Wow.
We represented a lot of different countries in our class. And
Oh my gosh.
so I stayed for that year, and then at the completion of that year, they were like, we want you to do our diploma program. So I essentially did Russian high school. I took
Wow.
Russian academics and dance at the same time. So
Oh my goodness. But you came back.
I came back and started teaching. This is my second year teaching at Viktor Studio. I've tried a bunch of different ages. I taught an intermediate level a couple years ago. Last year I taught the little itty bitty babies, so the 3, 4, 5-year-olds. That was a challenge. And now I'm teaching like the step up, so like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And that's ballet.
Yes, like
ballet.
introductory ballet.
Viktor, what other forms of dance are taught at the studio?
Me or?
Just in general.
Yeah.
Generally, okay, we have teachers who teach in hip-hop, jazz, contemporary, modern, ballet. Little ones is music movement, make-believe, 3 and 4 years old. And then next level, creative movements. We have classes, and then we have elementary class. We have jazz for the little ones, contemporary piece, tap for them, maybe. Yes, tap
And
class.
We
We
have
have
tap
tap class.
yeah.
Yes, tap class, yes. All these classes what we need to have for every single studio have. We have all these classes.
So jazz, tap, ballet, modern, contemporary, and hip hop. Not to mention the creative movement or the creative. How young are some of the students?
So our first, like the earliest level is movement, music, make believe, and they're like 3 and 4 years old.
3 and 4 years old.
They're adorable.
Oh,
they're
goodness.
adorable. And then we have creative movement, which is more like a preschool age.
Okay.
How old are you when you're in preschool?
5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
So that kind of, we like try to introduce a little bit of ballet into that class, but there's still a lot of that like interactive movements where you're trying to be aware of your space and like aware of everybody else in the room, and it's definitely interesting.
Wow.
It's a fun class.
And the fun class, but
Yes.
the little ones are the harder ones as 3 and 4 year olds.
Actually, the little ones they're still shy, so they don't like to talk over you. But the older they get a little more confident. They get a little more talkative, and they're constantly wanting to tell you things and watch this, watch this, watch this. And
I can't imagine. And you, Viktor was very humble when he introduced himself. I have to say, his resume and all of his studies. I just, tell us about your course of study and how long you've been dancing. You've received awards.
I born and raised in Uzbekistan, city of Tashkent. There we have in Tashkent Ballet School. Uzbekistan is during Soviet Union, of course.
Yes.
All these republics, big capital city of Republic, Soviet Union, they have ballet schools. It's all subsidized by government.
yeah, that's
one of the big things.
Different.
It's different,
Interesting.
subsidized by government,
All the
not
ballet schools are government funded, so like
government
everybody
funding.
can go to
Everything's
them.
for the many people. But of course, if you are local, you take classes, you pay somebody's fees. It's not like too much or big fees and monthly, because you take lunch, you have meals, just incredible meals they have, yes. And I studied for the 8 years ballet,
8 years ballet.
classical ballet program. It's called classical ballet program. Its main course will be about classical ballet class by himself, and then you study character, history, partner class, folk dance, Muslim dance. Yes, it depends where you are, and you have exams, everything some of the board of exams before December, and after December, the second exams will be in May. It means every single quarterly you take tests, everything. Yes, it's very tight and tense.
It's a very prestigious process.
Yes, very prestigious process.
From the age of 10 is usually the starting age. So they come and they see how flexible you are. They see like your natural technique and everything that you have, and then they don't accept everybody.
Right.
So
Yes,
each class has like a set number that they can accept, and you have to pass your exams to keep going on. If you don't pass,
you take exams at the beginning before you get to school.
Yeah.
They will take
Entrance exams.
take exams on your body.
Exams.
Yes, you don't even know anything, but they will test you, and then medical exams. If you have any kind of problems or family before have problems, they're not going to take you. Or size, maybe something's not fit, they don't take you. But it's during Soviet Union. It's different. It's different before 1991.
Yes.
Okay, this is during Soviet Union. I went to the school 1967.
Wow.
In ballet school.
Very different, I'm sure.
Very different.
Well, I'm sure it's different from when I went to an academy too.
Tashkent or Uzbekistan country being at that time developing Soviet Union with government in levels or like with this, all of them dance schools or government education. Ensure that everybody receives same levels. That's why all these teachers coming from Russia, from Belarus, from Ukraine, from different places to the different places who's already been developing themselves teaching, like from Vaganova Ballet School or from Getis University from Moscow, and you have to be certified really good teacher to teach these classes.
It's such a rigorous, it's not just can you do, first position or you're flexible. I mean, it's a very rigorous. And you said
Vaganova.
Vaganova. Tell us about that type of a syllabus for ballet study.
Okay.
I didn't realize that. I mean, there are different styles.
There's like three main classical ballet. It's Vaganova, Cicchetti and Balanchine are I think the most like common nowadays.
In the United States.
In the United States, yeah. I started as Cicchetti, which was like a level by level. You had to take exams to test out. There was like a syllabus for each level, kind of like Vaganova in that same sense. I don't know much about Balanchine, to be honest, so I'm not going to speak on that.
But in Vaganova's syllabus, first of all, we have to say, established in May 5th, 1835.
I know that number.
Yes, 1835, ballet school being established. Ballet being established in St. Petersburg with this imperial Tsar that time king. And they only take poor boys and girls, around 10 people, no more. And that started the beginning. And then developing in 19th century, bigger, and became so strong and famous. And Vaganova syllabus came in 1920. That time, Vaganova syllabus changed entire Russian country, completely different of the syllabus of the dance classes.
One thing that I do know is the focus on technique and safety of the dancer as well, ensuring that, you know, if you're going on point, or that the dancer's aware of their body and knowing that. So I know it's a very, very complex and rigorous. So there's some performances that Viktor, the VY Ballet, it's easier to say, does throughout the year. I know there's been several special performances that have been done, and you mentioned there's going to be a special one for the 15th anniversary. But in the spring, there's usually a performance. Tell us about the performances that are coming up over the next year.
Company performance we usually have with the students who's been chosen to be in company, and they have on Tuesday have classes and rehearsals. Two different levels, in junior, senior company. Tuesday we have the only specifically company that day. Okay, students, everybody else come in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We working with all these other different pieces, doing classes right now because we're preparing now for the future and for the 2025 for the gala performance prepare. But this time in December month, December 6, 7, 8, we prepare Nutcracker performance, which already be staged, built, and if everybody would like to come, it goes to vyballet.com.
Yes.
We're special.
Yes, we've got to talk a little bit about that, because I'm sure everyone's wondering about my shirt, which this is the commemorative shirt for this year's Nutcracker. But there is the company performance. Just quick, I want to.
The company performance. He had touched on it in the beginning. He's going to do excerpts from Don Quixote, which is a Spanish ballet.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite ballets.
It's beautiful class.
I love the ballet. It's one of my favorites. So I'm excited for it. But we'll be doing the excerpts from that in the gala, and then the gala will also include individual dances or choreographed by each teacher of like the yearly classes.
The group.
So each class that's on our weekly schedule will have their own special dance.
And it's wonderful. They're practicing all year. They're learning this, and this is an academy. We've got legitimate, very, very decorated teachers choreographing this, and there's hip hop, there's jazz, there's tap, there's modern, contemporary.
It is a
everything. Full, a
little bit of everything.
A full menu, But the Nutcracker is coming up December 6th, 7th, and 8th. And tell us about just the setting and the background, and how I know you bring families into this. How is this huge production put on every year?
Nutcracker performance is it's built since in Lancaster 1993.
1993.
Yes, at that time was from Ukrainian ballet company, the Donetsk ballet company, being touring here. I'm staging and choreograph performance in first act. Mostly was students dancing in the first act. And first time in Lancaster we have 120 students. It's many students. I don't know how I managed to put 120 students
on the stage. Yes.
And 120 students with Donetsk ballet company and 20 dancers and all things together. It's in first act, and second act only Donetsk company themselves dancing. Except in second act, we have Polichinelle's cook Mother Ginger's Polichinelle. That time, first time, and then different time in years I developed second act and bring more students for dancing in the performance. It means this time. Nutcracker students have almost every single choreography piece in Nutcracker performance.
Wow,
Every single
role.
scene,
Yeah.
party scene, puppet show,
Right.
and then all the solos dancers doing Columbine, Harlequin,
Yes.
all these pieces from angels, mice, soldiers, snowflakes, little dolls, big dolls, and pile up woodland fairies, woodland flowers, and then Spanish, Arabian, Chinese. It's all just
okay.
and sugar and plum fairy.
So, and Sugar Plum Fairy. So as I turn quickly to the Sugar Plum Fairy, so how long have you been the Sugar Plum Fairy?
This will be my 3rd year as Sugar Plum Fairy, but this is probably my 6th or 7th year dancing in the Nutcracker. I started as a little mouse, I think.
A
was my
little
first,
mouse.
My first role. I don't know how old I was. I have no idea. It's like a black hole when we go that far back. But little mouse, and then I worked my way up through Nutcracker doll, and then I did Clara, and then I came back. When I came back in 2020, I danced. Did I dance in 2020? I think I danced in 2020. I was Nutcracker doll, like the grown-up Nutcracker doll.
Okay.
And I danced in Waltz. And now, the last couple years, I've done the Sugar Plum Fairy,
Sugar Plum
which has
Fairy.
been the greatest honor. It's such a special opportunity to get to do that because when I was in Russia, it was hard for my family to watch me dance. So I get to dance where I grew up,
Yeah.
on stage that I danced for so many
Right,
years, and
right.
now my family gets to watch me. So.
Oh my gosh, that's so wonderful. And the other thing about the performance is not only is the staging and the set and the costumes, of course, the choreography, but you also invite professional dancers that,
Yeah.
again, you mentioned at first it was just the students in the first scene. Now they are all throughout every single role, but you do reserve roles like the Sugar Plum Fairy, the Mouse King. What other roles do you
Yes,
bring?
the
And where
professional
do you-
dancers then dance parents, Drosselmeyer, and
Mouse King,
Mouse King,
Nutcracker
parents,
doll,
Nutcracker doll.
and then like the solos in
And then
second act.
soldiers, there were soldiers, they
soldiers.
dance. It's fight scene is I design it by choreography but differently way, make it changing and make it better for the performance because I want good action on stage,
Yes.
and I did that so juicy, so good.
Yes,
and,
yes.
And then we have, of course, we Wallflowers in second act with all the students dancing another 4 ladies doing these Wallflowers
Yes.
and solos. Yes, it's I try to keep this performance with professional dancers like was established since 1993. Make sure performance looks like it's not recital. It's
Right.
performance, solid performance.
Which
The-
he had
Beautiful
said
girl.
when it first started, the the Donetsk Ballet came over. They danced a lot more of
More.
the solo roles, and the students were kind of just added in. Like when I danced, the second act was mostly the professionals. They did all of like the parents and
Okay.
the puppet show. So that's something
But
that's
there's been
changed
a
over the
lot of
years. The
evolution.
students have kind of fallen into those roles and. It's evolved. It's definitely evolved. It's changed a lot.
Well, what you said, I think, is what I would like to. It's not a recital.
Yeah.
The recital
No.
is
It's a performance.
is at the end of the year maybe, and that's not even a
Yeah.
recital. It's
It's
a performance.
It's performance.
So what made you think to bring the Nutcracker and
Nut-
to?
Okay, Nutcracker performance has been staged since December 6, 1892. Since that
December
time.
6,
Vaults back there with
1892.
all these
Yes, December 6, 1892. That time, of course, it was being built, choreographed Marius Petipa, but Russian choreographer Lev Ivanovich take over because that time Marius Petipa 80 years old.
80.
80, and he was sick. He wasn't able to build whole performance, and Lev Ivanov staged whole things with his design choreography.
Yes.
And Snowflakes, it was first time band stage, not Petipa. It was Lev Ivanov. He designed that.
Yeah.
Petipa said, "I don't know what to do in here. I know it will be Snowflakes. Can you choreograph?" And he
You
choreographed.
choreograph.
And
Just
stage,
like-
it became
yes.
like
Yeah.
simple. It fits so well that performance, Nutcracker. But Nutcracker performance is holiday season for the Christmas time.
It's a
That's
big
why
deal.
it's
You're
big.
out.
It's
It
big
is,
production.
Well,
it's
it's
a big deal.
a big
It
deal.
goes on for months.
It's a
Yes.
big deal in
Yeah.
Europe. It goes on for months, but it's a big deal here in
Yeah.
Lancaster County. And if you are if you'd like to make a new tradition with your family during the holidays, this really is a production to see. It is not a recital. This has professional dancers, including the Sugar Plum Fairy, who's here with us, and the extraordinary choreography and roles that you put together, the brilliant mind who knows the exact dates. You can get your tickets at vyballet.com and find out more information about Viktor Yeliohin's International Ballet Academy. I'm Jennifer Powell. This is Take a Look. Thanks for joining us.